Happy Monday, Building Science Geeks. It's me, Mariana Pickering from Emu. And today on this Monday B.S. Building Science, I want to dive into blower door tests. We have been running a lot of those recently for our pilot projects, and several questions have come up, good questions about passive house and preliminary blower door tests versus final, how the tests are done, how much that costs, some things like that. So let's dive in, and I'm also going to try and put a little footage from some of our actual blower door test days out on sites to kind of help visualize what this process looks like for you. So one of the big things that comes up right away is that you'll hear people in the passive house world talk about the preliminary blower door test and the final blower door test. And it's really important to kind of understand why we even have a preliminary test. It does not go towards any kind of official numbers for the certification process, but a preliminary blower door test is really kind of an early diagnostic tool, really almost a design tool in a certain way to check the quality on site and make sure that anything that could potentially cause leaks in the final blower door test is caught well in advance and can be addressed before everything gets covered up. So first things first, in order for this blower door test, the final one, to be accepted for certification process, it has to be performed by a third party. So typically, even at the preliminary, you're having that third party come in early to kind of be that accountability partner and check and see where your leaks are and how well you do on that test. So the footage I'm going to show today is from a number of different projects in the Emu pilot program. And our pilot program is basically where we license out construction details and assemblies to builders. Most of them are also alumni from the Certified Passive House Tradesperson course. And we kind of act as almost like a personal trainer. We come in and check in on milestones, make sure that that they're on track for certification and help go all that way. On the other side, they let us install sensors. And so we get to collect some data over the course of the occupancy of that building, which hopefully we'll be able to turn back into some useful information for everyone. But the two of the kind of big days of many that we check in on these pilot projects are the preliminary and the final blower door test. So the preliminary blower door test, really, we show up, a little bit before, and with the crew of the builder, we kind of start top down, go through the building, check and make sure everything that's supposed to be closed off is closed off. Any windows, you would be surprised how many times we get halfway through the blower door test with really, really high numbers and then realize that a window is cracked. Make sure all the windows are closed. Make sure anything that will eventually be sealed up on final day, that can be masking taped off. So for example, sometimes at preliminary, maybe the hardware is not into the windows yet. So you can mask off some of the holes that are there. But we don't want to cover anything that we suspect will be that way in the final blower door test. Because again, we're trying to realistically set up a scenario where we can see where any unexpected leaks are going to be. So I should back up for just a second and just kind of give you an order of magnitude. A typical kind of older leaky house here in Colorado or around the country really is probably going to be something like anywhere from 10 to 15 ACH, air exchanges per hour at 50 pascals of pressure. So anywhere in the 10 to 15 range. The 2015 IECC building code was the first national building code to really address blower door test results. And in that building code, anything built to that code and later had to reach 3 ACH with a few exceptions in certain counties around the country. So that's a pretty big decrease already. To hit passive house, however, the International Passive House Standard requires 0.6 ACH. So that is a much, much tighter envelope. And last thing, some people ask, do you absolutely have to do the preliminary blower door test? Obviously, you don't have to for certification purposes. I would say it'd be a really bad idea not to. It is not an expensive thing. If you have a third party come in, they usually spend a couple hours on site. And, it's in the $750 to $800 range, at least here in Colorado. If it's a lot more than that where you live, I would be interested to know why. You can also purchase, the equipment yourself if you plan on using it as a diagnostic tool a lot. And, it's a few $1,000s depending on what kind of brand you get and things like that. But if you have several projects, that could make up for itself, of course. The thing to keep in mind with that is really you could only use it as a diagnostic tool. You can't use it as the third party verification because you're not a third party to yourself. Okay, so I think I've covered everything that I wanted to go over for today about the blower door test, but please, if you have any other questions, just add them to the comments and I'll try to get back to you. And as always, have a lovely week and happy Monday. Thanks. Are you still here? Oh, good. Okay, so I decided to put my little training notifications at the end so you can stick around after I say goodbye on these things and see what the upcoming passive house builder training opportunities are. We're really excited. We are going to be headed up to Maine next week. We leave on Memorial Day and we're going to be at the EcoCore headquarters from June 6th through the 10th to do our builder boot camp. It's a certified passive house tradesperson course. We've got classroom days, workshop days, and then an accreditation exam. We also have our online version of that, the online summer crew, open for registration right now on our website. And then the next thing after that will be in August. We will be doing our quarterly Colorado boot camp. So August 1st through 5th. So if you can make it up to Maine, registration deadline's today, but we might be able to take a couple late ones. Otherwise, the Colorado boot camp is open for registration and our online summer crew is open for registration. And I really hope to see you in training. A lot of this information is really just skimming the surface, and the training kind of is the deep dive into the building science. So thanks, everybody. Bye.